So this is day 2 of Tanmay's class, and it is exercise 2 on day 2, the story of shots. It's about taking shots properly. I'm going to describe each shot as I take it and what I learn. So here's the first shot. See, the frame moves around quite a bit, and then there's a zoom happening, and the topic finally settles on these 3 men. Better to have a still frame like in this shot. Okay, here you can see the still frame, but notice that the subjects aren't moving much either. So it may be a better idea to wait till there is some action before you cut the shot. Shot number 3 is meaningless. Don't get distracted. This shot starts with a different subject and yields the final subject, and that's why the shot is interesting, and it's a good idea to have a different beginning and a different ending to the shot. The idea was to have a frame within a frame and give the impression of a clandestine shot, but I messed up, and I should have watched out for this guy who enters the frame. Keep a lookout for human interest. So I don't make the same mistake twice, and I'm hopefully learning very quickly. I let the guy enter the frame, and he seems to be talking to someone, waiting to meet someone here at this place, and he's looking around in all different directions, and I am looking to find out where the best angle is. That's why the frame is moving a little bit. But I'm trying to see what happens next, and meanwhile this auto comes into the frame and he parks, and that eventually becomes a good story. So this is an extension of the same principle that stationary frames and frames within frames make for better shots. And notice that in the right hand of the frame there is a group of women sitting, and your attention goes to those women because everything else is moving and does not seem to grab your attention. But these women who are sitting on the corner of the street between the car and some kind of circle monument, those are the ones that grab your attention. So let's try and have another look at those women, and trying to frame it the same way. But notice there's something moving across the screen, and it looks like it's a branch of the tree that's probably moving in the wind, and this is what eventually makes the shot no good. So choose the vantage point such that there's nothing moving across the screen. Meanwhile, behind the auto that had parked itself in the frame a few shots ago, a man is sitting rather uncomfortably on a tree stump, and behind him is a motorcycle parked with a helmet on it. The man is looking around, and he will check his watch, and he seems to be waiting for someone. He's got a hand cart where there's an almirah, a wooden almirah. He's looking at the watch, and this person on the motorcycle comes in, and he puts the key in the ignition, wears his helmet. The auto fellow drives off, and the motorcyclist starts his motorcycle, and before you know it, another auto has come in its place, and we zoom out, and that's where the shot ends. Okay, so the human interest story in all of this is this guy sitting on the tree stump in a very uncomfortable position. But there's something wrong with the frame, which teacher corrects. And look at this composition now. Perfect. What was wrong with the earlier composition? Not enough headroom, and the position of the subject wasn't all that great. Notice that the first auto has also driven off, and the man is still waiting. So that creates some interest. So in this shot, I'm trying to figure out what this guy is up to. I start with a composition that I change it a bit, and he seems to be looking at those women. I'm trying to figure out what he's waiting for, and I'm thinking of the next shot. So this guy is completely unaware of my presence, and I'm trying to highlight in this shot how uncomfortable this guy must be, because this thing is almost up his ass. But that's the only point of emphasis in this shot. It's a lower angle shot. While taking this shot, I'm barely 3 feet behind his head, and he's unaware that I'm there. It's a point of view shot. So that's the last shot before the battery on the iPhone runs out, and we are waiting for the guy on the left to sit down after the sweeper on the right of the frame finishes sweeping the street, and this guy can get back to business because he's a cobbler, and he's sitting there waiting for the sweeper to finish. We have seen all the raw footage. Now we have to try and assemble this into some kind of a story, and that's what we're going to do next in the editing part.